Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the West Ham Network. Hope you're keeping safe and well. As per usual, we are here this morning bringing you a little cheeky video. And now, this is more about should West Ham pay £40 million for Jhon Duran, and is he worth it? To put it into simple terms, and maybe I can't put it into simple terms because maybe I'm going to go all over the map here when it comes to Jhon Duran. Would I pay £40 million? What I wouldn't do is be held to ransom from Aston Villa. But we do find ourselves in a situation where we are in need of a striker. Many clubs are in need of a striker. And if you've got a striker that has some reputable stats, as you can see, run along the bottom, and plays at the highest level at the international level, and has done all right in the Premier League, then you're going to hold the key. You are going to hold that key as to this, the direction of which that player is going to move in. You absolutely are. Now, Duran is under investigation at the club due to him putting out a live video on his social media accounts, and someone was asking him questions and he put up the Ham's cross. I think there's a way out of that for him, but it's not great because he doesn't put himself in good light amongst the Aston Villa fans. But the question I asked at the start is Jhon Duran worth £40 million? And the answer to the question is, I don't really know, and probably not. But then the next question is, would I pay the money? Well, I probably would. Why? Because we've been chasing the player. We've been looking at him, obviously, for a while. We've done a bit of due diligence. And he seems to fit the mold of the player that they are looking for. As you can see there from some of his strengths, he's got aerial duels, his finishing ability, and his team play are just some of his strengths, just to name a few. His team play is huge. His finishing is unbelievable. His pace is crazy. And he's got a lot of attributes. And I kind of feel like sometimes I'm repeating myself when I talk about this player in particular. And why I repeat myself a lot on Jhon Duran is because there's a reason why Aston Villa are holding their asset within reason, not just for the fact that they know clubs are chasing around for a striker, because many clubs are, but for the fact that I think they actually believe that he is a quality player and that they want to protect their asset, but also want to add value to them moving forward in the future if he does leave, which is looking more and more likely that he will leave. That's why they want the add-ons. That's why they want the ridiculous add-ons. Now, this is where I get down to the nitty-gritty. If West Ham are willing to pay £33 million, which is what we're led to believe in today's market, that's what we're potentially putting on the table. But you really want the player. I get that you don't want to be held to ransom, but what is £5-6 million going to make a difference at that level to bring the player in that you want? What is it? Please, someone explain to me. Because Aston Villa need to sell. They do. They absolutely do. They need to finance any new players that are coming in. They're under PSR restrictions, and they need to sell in order to bring players in. West Ham don't have a humongous budget. We absolutely know we don't have a humongous budget for the player or for a transfer market. However, we know we're in the market for a striker. Premier League experience. That's huge, and I think you pay a premium for that. 5 goals in 23 Premier League games, but the key part here is he only started 10 of those Premier League games last year. He's got 2 goals in the Europa Conference League in 10 games for Aston Villa. His career stats is 19 goals and 7 assists as a centre forward in his full career between Aston Villa, his Colombian team, and Chicago Fire. International level, he's played 10 international games, 1 goal. The international fans rate him highly. They really, really do. He's definitely one of those ones that's up and coming. And I think the fact that he's got some Premier League experience and has shown some signs of cleverness and his awareness of the game, and the strength in being able to handle the Premier League, you know, he had to nudge out one of the best players in the Premier League to try and get a chance to play. And that player was Ollie Watkins. And that was always going to be a tough ask. And if that's leading the line and scoring goals, you're not going to get an opportunity as much as you want. So going back to the initial question, would I pay Jhon Duran? Would I pay Aston Villa £40 million for Duran? Well, I tell you what, if I was West Ham and I'd done my due diligence and I knew that that was the player they wanted, yes, I think we're dilly-dallying over, what, £4 or £5 million? Really? Really? When you look at the history of transfers we've made? Really? This goes back to the whole kind of conversation we had about Ben Johnson. It's like, I get we can't be held to ransom for these players, but at the end of the day, if you've got a player who's like Ben Johnson, for example, and you're only, say, 15, 20 grand of a difference away, but you look at the history of players we've paid on a weekly salary. If you look at the Yarmolenko salary, if you look at Chicharito's salary, you've got to look at Sebastian Haller's salary, Felipe Anderson's salary, Scamacca salary, and there's many more. I've just named a few. If you look at their salaries and the over the odds West Ham have paid over the years for players that haven't worked out at the club, and you think, okay, 20 years old, Colombian international, Premier League experience, scored goals in the Premier League. Club who currently has him has to sell him because he's one of their big assets. Club who currently has him, if they sell him, want to have some mega add-ons into the deal because they obviously believe he's got something about him. So, yeah, I would. I know people are feel free to slag me off. Put it in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me. And I think a lot of people might disagree with me. But I'm just getting fed up of like West Ham just trying to nudge £1 million here, there, and everywhere. Get the player in. If that's who Lopetegui and Steidten want, get him to this club immediately. Immediately. Because for his lightning pace and add that to Bowen and Kudus and Paquetá, oh my days. Oh my days. Anyway, there you go. That's my opinion. I think West Ham should just pay the money, get him in the door. I wouldn't move anywhere near over that. And is he worth it? Possibly. You just got to look at the Brazilian league and look what West Ham played for Luis Guilherme. You got to look at some of the other signings that have been made across the other clubs. So there it is. There's my piece. Stay tuned. Come on, your hands.